Because I don't make enough of these videos, here's another one talking about good old Dragon Ball. Because the new Sparking Zero has come out, and I'm putting out the two heavy hitters that Sparking Zero is the hybrid fusion of all of the good stuff of both of these. It also has the worst of both of these. The worst of both of these being the story mode, the campaign mode, the story levels. Sparking Zero kind of feels like a Budokai 1 type of ordeal, where in Budokai you would play select battles throughout the story, primarily consisting mainly of Goku's fights and a couple of Gohan fights. And then you finish the story. And then you get to go back in there and you see new story levels have unlocked to do more battles. And they're Piccolo and Vegeta's fights. So that was pretty nice to see. That's kind of what Sparking Zero does. You get to go through Goku's, then Vegeta's, Piccolo's, Gohan's, etc.'s. About 8. I think there's 8. I kind of wish there were more, but you get a highlight reel of all of the major fights throughout the franchise, skipping quite a bit of them, though, admittedly, saddeningly. But hey, we can't please everybody. So let's talk about the one thing that I wanted to make this video for, and that is the roster. Once again, we're going to be talking about Sparking Zero's roster, because you know me, I love a good roster. A roster of fighters in a fighting game to get to go ham, gung-ho, getting to pick your dream teams of whoever the most obscure character is, and using them to battle all sorts of big names. Like in Tenkaichi 3, you could form a team of Arale and Android 8 to fight against Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Super Baby Vegeta and beat them all to heck and Hiffle and all that good stuff. You get to do all sorts of crazy, kooky things like that. And in Raging Blast 2, they even have the two what-if Super Saiyan 3 forms of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 3 Broly, so you can form the full triumvirate of Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, and have them go up against Tien and Yamcha, and probably have Yamcha win. There's also the most obscure character that we will probably never see in a Dragon Ball game ever again. And that is, of course, Hachiak and Tarble. They're in Raging Blast 2. They are not in Sparking Zero. Hachiak was the main villain in the plan to eradicate the Super Saiyans. That was both a video game and an animated special. The animated special is included in all copies of Raging Blast 2. My copy here has the original soundtrack from Raging Blast 2. All subsequent copies of Raging Blast 2 would be the Tenkaichi 2 soundtrack, which I'm kind of sick of hearing nowadays. But that is neither here nor there. There are plenty of characters that didn't get to make the cut in Sparking Zero, and I'm kind of disappointed. To this day, has Sparking Zero dethroned Tenkaichi 3? No. It has not. It is the better, superior fighting game. Yes, it is the superior fighting engine. Yes, it has the superior and more enjoyable play style and gameplay elements and levels and graphics and maps and all that good stuff. Yes. However, Tenkaichi 3 still has dozens of characters that Sparking Zero does not have. And for a Tenkaichi game, this is a travesty. Why is this a travesty? Well, to Tenkaichi tradition, every subsequent installment would include the entire roster of the previous game on top of a bunch of new guys. That's what Tenkaichi 2 did. That's what Tenkaichi 3 did. Two characters in particular are an ultimate travesty and crime for not being included in Sparking Zero. These two are Tao Pai Pai and Super 17. Both Tao Pai Pai and Super 17 have been in all three Tenkaichi Budokai games. The Sparking Zero is the first one that doesn't have either one of them. In fact, what is grinding my gears 6 Ways to Sunday is that Sparking Zero barely has any original Dragon Ball support. Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, this original Dragon Ball came first. This came first before all of this crap ever happened. This came first. So of course we have to have Kid Goku. So they at least give us Goku. We got Goku. Who else do we have? There's Master Roshi! We have Master Roshi, but he's mostly based on the Dragon Ball Super's Master Roshi, although for a concession we did give him Jackie Chun's alternate costume, so Master Roshi can play as Jackie Chun. So we get to have at least one, singular, one original Dragon Ball fight between Kid Goku and Jackie Chun in the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, so we can at least reenact one original Dragon Ball fight. It's almost like an insult to the original Dragon Ball to not include a couple of these characters. You could have at least cut out most of the GT, if not all of them, and all of the movie characters. And before anybody gets mad, I would say that I would add those in a DLC later on. But you could cut the GT and movie characters out of the base game and include some support for the original Dragon Ball. The DP, the whatever that is for ranked battles, every character has a cost to use that character in battle, in ranked battles and all that, versus matches and whatnot. For example, Mr. Satan has only one DP cost, and of course Ultra Instinct Mastered Goku is way up at the top with I think a 9. So each character has that type of cost. Well, the bulk of this game's roster's cost is going to be in 5, 6, and 7, and I think 8. No, it's just 5, 6, and 7. That's where the bulk of the game's roster, where at least half of the game's roster is going to be included. We have a couple at level 8, such as the Super Saiyan 4 Goku character, and a bunch of those other, Golden Frieza and all those big, heavy hitters. And then we have the lower ranked characters, like level 4. There's a lot of level 4 characters. Tien's in there. The Android 1920 are here, base form Frieza, yada yada yada. But we barely have anything in levels DP2 and DP3. For example, Kid Goku's in DP3. You know who else you could have put in DP3? King Piccolo, Tao Pai Pai, Raleigh. You could have put those guys in there. We could have filled out that roster a little bit more with some original Dragon Ball support. We could put Grandpa Gohan in there, Devilman. For level 2 DP, we could put the Pilaf machine in too. Hey, how about a brand new character that we've never seen before, that has never been added into a game in a playable format outside of that Game Boy Advance game, Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure? Kid Krillin. Has anybody ever had a playable Kid Krillin outside of Advanced Adventure? No, we have not had one, and that is a travesty. It is an ultimate travesty. Krillin is... an unsung hero. He was the guy that Toriyama decided to merge both Tien and Yamcha's character traits onto for Z going forward, as he decided to put Yamcha and Tien onto the back burner because he was adding a bunch of characters, and he's not good with having huge rosters of characters. He usually doesn't know what to do with so many of these guys half the time, so he keeps the roster small and has about 4 or 5 people doing the battles, and that's it, right? Well, why not have Kid Krillin? In original Dragon Ball, Krillin had more of a prankster type of fighting style. He was never as skilled as Goku, and for the most part, he didn't really look as skilled as Yamcha either. And of course, he was inferior to Tien throughout all of original Dragon Ball, because Tien was the Lancer. He was the bronze medal in the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai. He was behind Goku and Piccolo, and I think he might have also been behind Kami, so maybe 4th medalist there, but I don't count Kami there, so it would be Tien under Goku and Piccolo, because Kami's not really a fighter. but Krillin was the underdog in the original Dragon Ball, with a moveset that would correlate to a great 2DP character alongside Yajirobe, who is also a 2DP character who gets to be included in the game, which I am very happy to see Yajirobe getting some representation, because he is awesome. Kid Krillin could have had a moveset such as the false Kamehameha, the fake Kamehameha. In the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, in his fight against Chaozu, Krillin thought, if Yamcha could do the Kamehameha, I should be able to as well. So he went ahead and tried to do a fake Kamehameha, and just had a little puff of smoke. So you could have a special where Krillin flies in to do a rush attack where he tries to do a Kamehameha, and it's a fake Kamehameha. It startles the opponent, so he just jumps in and kicks the enemy and sends them flying. That could be a pretty good special. Another pretty good special is the Panty Toss. Yes, the Panty Toss. In the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament, in Krillin's fight against Jackie Chun, he tosses a pair of panties on the ground, and Jackie Chun jumps, dives for them, and Krillin attacks him and punishes him for his lecherous behavior. Krillin is a prankster. Krillin is a strategist. He knows the ins and outs of various characters and knows that these guys might be superior to him, so he tries to use planning and tactics to get sneak attacks in on his enemies to get the upper hand in battle. And that would be the perfect type of moveset to have for Kid Krillin for original Dragon Ball representation in the Sparking Zero game. I have been fighting to have Kid Krillin put into this game for months and months. I've made multiple posts about it. I've made multiple underhanded comments about it. But I genuinely believe new characters that we've never seen in a video game before, but are nostalgic as heck to the fan base, could have been a really good idea. Adding in Kid Krillin, adding in Tien early, like Goku early, Goku mid. You could have Tien early, which is his 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament appearance. Have his moveset be primarily stuff that he used in the 22nd and 23rd World Martial Arts Tournaments, such as the Four Arms technique, Four Witches technique. He has an I-beam attack, where he splits into 4 people into the 4 corners, and he fires a blast. He forces you to jump in the air, and he does an I-beam attack from his 4 clones to get you. That could be a rush attack. He's got the Dodon Pa, which I think also gets included in base Tien in most of the other games. He's also got the Volleyball Fist. He uses that in the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, which is a fantastic move, showcasing that Tien is a complete dork, and I love that. But they don't do much with Tien in most of these games. They just throw him in, and there you go. 22nd World Martial Arts Tien, or a Tien early, would be a great addition. And then, of course, I've also always been fighting for Yamcha. Yamcha, the underdog of underdogs, who has been made into a joke of a character in Z and in parodies, because it's funny to make fun of Yamcha, I guess. I am a big Yamcha fan. I love the guy. He is great in the looks department, and he's the only guy that actually gets a good ending in the Super Dragon Ball Heroes thing. If you look at the roster of the Super Dragon Ball Heroes, where's Tien and Krillin? Hey, there, it's Yamcha. I loved that. I loved to see Yamcha's representation there. I loved that Yamcha got to show up in the Moro arc to fight against some of the escaped galactic prisoners in the Dragon Ball Super manga. If you haven't heard of the Moro arc, it's because it's a manga exclusive arc that happens after the Tournament of Power. So if you want to read more about that, I highly recommend you continue reading the Dragon Ball manga, because it has 2 more story arcs. And it also adapts the Dragon Ball Superhero story arc as well, adding some new elements and some new story beats and some new characters into that, which I thought was okay. It's a good time, ultimately, but what I'm trying to say is Yamcha also should have an early variant. Yamcha Early, or rather Yamcha in his very first incarnation, the Pilaf arc Yamcha. Now in Sparking Zero and also in Tenkaichi 3, Yamcha has his Pilaf arc outfit, his bandit outfit, his desert outfit that you first see him in as an alternate outfit that you can have him wear to fight in. However, this is not really lore accurate to this early Yamcha, who has no key attacks and cannot fly. Therefore, I would argue you could have a completely new moveset for a Yamcha Early, a Yamcha Pilaf arc, where Yamcha's fighting style consists of a mixture of martial arts and weapons. He fought with a sword against Kid Goku with his Noibo, which was fantastic to see. You could incorporate swordsmanship into Yamcha's moveset. You could incorporate one of his specials being just pulling out a rocket launcher and firing it. I mean, hey, General Blue did it. Why not Yamcha? You know, it's you could get creative with original Dragon Ball in a lot of ways that is new and refreshing for players to play through, and also a nice homage to Toriyama's first half of the series. This is canon Toriyama. This is what he did first before Z. He did this. This was his story for Goku, leading all the way up to his fight with Piccolo at the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. And I feel like that hasn't been represented faithfully, fairly, properly. Well, there's quite a few games for the mobiles. Like there's some DS game called Revenge of King Piccolo. That was a fantastic one. There's also Advanced Adventure, like I mentioned, for the Game Boy Advance. That's a fantastic little side-scroller type of beat-em-up, kind of like a Metroid-y, Castlevania type of thing, where you're jumping on platforms, beating people up, and it's a good time all around. And you get to play as Kid Krillin. Once you beat the game as Kid Goku, you play it again as Kid Krillin, and he has a different moveset. Kid Krillin can jump higher. He has got like a super jump, so he can reach higher up platforms to get more secrets and things like that. So there's a reason to use him for the second time around to play as him. So there's a few games out there that really do the original Dragon Ball some justice, but never one of these mainline fighting games until we got to Tenkaichi 3. Tenkaichi 3 had a lot of original Dragon Ball support, and to this day has the most original Dragon Ball support. It gave us Android 8, we got General Blue, we had Nam, the dude that Goku fights in the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament in the semi-finals round. the dude that had a desert village that needed water. He was here solely for a selfless purpose, and Jackie Chun really respected that out of him and said, hey, when you're out of the desert, water's free. Here, take a couple of these capsules and get you some water and take it back home. And Nam is like, what? It was a great time. It was a great little joke moment, but he's in the game as well. We also had Devilman, which was a very fun character to have in this game. He was awesome. Tambourine, one of King Piccolo's henchmen, the guy that kills Kid Krillin at the end of the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. He's in here. King Piccolo himself is in here. And we had a lot of original Dragon Ball characters. The Pilaf Machine. Oh, yeah, the Pilaf Machine's in here. Tao Pai Pai, Cyborg Tao. Yeah, both of those guys get to be added in here. There's a lot of support for original Dragon Ball and Tenkaichi 3 that I was very happy to see. And I was like, I wasn't hoping, like, I wasn't expecting to see them in Sparking Zero, but I would have really liked to see them in Sparking Zero. You know, I would have liked to see that original Dragon Ball support. At least the characters that were in Tenkaichi 3 get added into Sparking Zero. Even if you don't bring in my boy Kid Krillin, at least bring in the guys that were in Tenkaichi 3, you know, that and have a story with them. You know, when you click Goku's story, have it start with original Dragon Ball. That would have been awesome. Have his first fight be against Jackie Chun in the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have been fantastic to see. But no, they decided to cut all that out. They decided to cut all of the original Dragon Ball characters except for Kid Goku and Jackie Chun as Master Roshi's alternate outfit. They decided to cut everybody else out. Everybody else is gone, and it's sad. It really is. So I'm going to offer my hypothetical. If I were in charge of Sparking Zero, what would I have done differently? Would I have had DLC? Would I have had a couple season passes? What would I have included into the base roster? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I would have included some original Dragon Ball support. That's for darn sure. I would probably not include every single character from Tenkaichi 3. I know that's a kind of crime, but a lot of the Ozaru characters were what-if hypotheticals, and I would love to have every single person in here, but if I'm going to limit my roster to the same amount of characters that are in the base Sparking Zero, we do have to cut some of these characters out. But we could probably have them coming in as a DLC later on, so hey, whatever. In the base game of Sparking Zero, I would cut all of the GT characters and all of the movie characters outside of the Dragon Ball Super movies from the base roster. In the base roster, I would also include Dragon Ball Super Superhero into the base roster. So Gohan will have Dragon Ball Super Gohan with base, Super Saiyan, Ultimate, and Beast. We're skipping Super Saiyan 2 for Dragon Ball Super's Gohan. Sorry, but they skipped it for Dragon Ball Super's Goku and Vegeta. So hey, what do you got? For Piccolo, I'm gonna merge early and end into one Piccolo and give you a second Piccolo for Dragon Ball Super Piccolo. So we have Dragon Ball Super's Piccolo, potential unlock, Orange, and Giant. Then, of course, we have Gamma 1, Gamma 2, Cell Max, and, of course, Teen Trunks, Teen Goten in their alternate outfits as well, their Super Saiyan variants. And then, of course, I know I'm missing somebody. Oh, yeah, their fusion character. I would probably have a what-if successful Teen Gotenks. You know, I would add Teen Gotenks, Super Saiyan, and base. Probably not Super Saiyan 3, but at least Super Saiyan and base. Teen Gotenks. I would add that in for the fans, because the fans want that. That's what the fans want. Give the fans what they want, and they'll come. Give them what they want, and they'll come. But yeah. So with that freed up, we have a couple of more slots we have freed up. So we're going to add in most of the support, if not all of the original Dragon Ball support that Tenkaichi 3 had. We're going to be adding Kid Krillin, Yamcha early, and Tien early, though. We're going to be adding those three. I'm going to be separating Drum from King Piccolo. King Piccolo has a special in Tenkaichi 3 called Your Name is Drum, where he has a rush attack. He runs in and clashes with the opponent, spits out Drum, and Drum does an attack. Well, I'm going to make Drum a separate character. That way, we can have a story battle where Tien fights Drum. That's awesome. I wanted to see that. So we're going to do that. And, of course, we're going to be adding in... let's see. We're going to be adding in... No! Giant Piccolo. Yeah, you forgot Piccolo could do Giant early on. Apparently Toriyama did too, because throughout all of Z, Piccolo never once becomes a giant. And throughout all of Super, Piccolo never once becomes a giant. But the thing is, in my review for Dragon Ball Super Super Hero, Toriyama apparently was feeling very nostalgic for his early Dragon Ball era with that movie, and as well with Daima coming out. He was feeling very nostalgic for this time period, which is why there's so many original Dragon Ball references in Super Hero, such as Piccolo becoming a giant. See? Here it is. He's become a giant against the Goku right here. And he even has the yellow things on his arms. I would add that for the Dragon Ball Super's Piccolo to differentiate him from the base Piccolo from Z and all that stuff. I would add a giant Piccolo form. You know, I would give that to base Piccolo from the original. You know, I would give him a giant form in regular green instead of giant orange. We have giant green for Piccolo. Yeah, why not? Add another giant character. There's not too many of those. We need a couple more of those. So, that's Dragon Ball, original Dragon Ball support. Add them in there. And then, finally, for the final character that I would add, well, not final character, there's a couple of characters from Z that were excluded from the base game of Sparking Zero that I would add, such as the Kaioshin base and Kibito Kai. I would add those two back into the game. I would add King Vegeta. Actually, no. Yeah, actually, yes. I would add King Vegeta in his Dragon Ball Super Broly form with his version that's in Tenkaichi 3 as an alternate outfit, which is what they did with Bardock. So I would add King Vegeta in there. Paragus. I'll make him DLC. We'll talk a little bit about that. You see, I have if I were in charge of Sparking Zero, this is what this section of the video is called, I would have 2 season passes. The first season pass is the movies, 3 DLC packs, all about the movies. Movie Pack 1, Movie Pack 2, and Movie Pack 3. Movie Pack 1 would be movies 1 through 4. And we will be including stages and story levels, too. Each movie pack will contain story levels for each movie, as well as new stages to fight in. For example, in Dead Zone, we will include Garlic Jr., Super Garlic Jr., and his 3 henchmen. Yay! And we have Kami as well. We'll have Kami as a fightable character. Yeah! So we have 6 characters, and we'll add 1 new stage, Garlic Jr.'s Hideout. That is one of the most original and unique backdrops I've ever seen in a Dragon Ball story. So of course we want that as a fighting stage. That would be awesome. And of course we have some story levels for that as well. And then for World's Strongest, I would have Mind-Controlled Piccolo, the Biomen, which would probably maybe even be a selectable alternate outfit for the Cybermen, just to save space, maybe. I'd add the 3 Bio Warriors, Kishiman, Mitsukatsu, and Ebifuria. We'll add those 3 in there. We'll give an alternate outfit for Master Roshi, his black martial arts suit or whatever. We'll give him that. And of course we have to have Dr. Wheelo, big beastie boy. Now Dr. Wheelo was in Tenkaichi 3, yes, and he is also in Sparking Zero, which is a good thing, but we will add these other guys as well. And of course we have to have Dr. Wheelo's lab as a playable stage. For Tree of Might, we will have 3 of Turles' henchmen as playable characters, as well as the Tree of Might stage. For Lord Slug, we'll have 3 of his henchmen, as well as the stage. And story levels. These packs will usually have a stage if it's a very unique area that they fight in. And of course we'll have to have some henchmen. The henchmen we've never seen before, except for 2. 2 movies did have henchmen. 2 of them. And they came in this game. We're going to be talking about them in Movie Pack 2. Movie Pack 2 will have, first, Cooler's Revenge, which has Cooler base form, Cooler final form, which is typical. We usually have that. And Salsa, we have him in Tenkaichi 3, and he was also in Raging Blast 2. But guess who was also in Raging Blast 2? Dore and Nezu of the rest of the Armored Squad. So we're going to be adding them into Cooler's Armored Squad in the Cooler's Revenge little DLC level. And of course for Cooler Returns, it's just a meta Cooler. There's nothing else there. That's why we're combining more movies into the second movie pack. We have movie 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that's 5 and 6. Movie 7, Android 13. That's another one that this game also had complete. This game included androids 14 and 15 as playable characters, so let's add them in there as well. So we have androids 14 and 15 for Super Android 13, as well as for Broly, we have Broly in his various forms, and we'll put Paragus in there as a playable character. He's never really done any battles, but hey, neither has King Vegeta, and yet King Vegeta was in Tenkaichi 3. I think you could figure out something to do with him. Because this is the dream team. This is the dream game that everybody's wanted to play. Every single person ever. That's what a Tenkaichi is about. Putting them all in there and letting you go buck wild. So we're going to have Paragus in there. And then, of course, for Bojack, we're going to do something that fans have been wanting for 20 plus years. For 20 years, fans have been wanting Trunks in his Bojack movie outfit. You know, the vest that he wears. I can't see Future Trunks' vest here. That's his armor there. But the vest that he wore in Bojack Unbound. We're going to get that to Trunks fighting. He's in the base game of Sparking Zero. So we're going to give him an alternate outfit where he gets to wear that short sleeve vest. And it could come off when he powers up into Super Saiyan. It'll be awesome. Everybody wanted that, and we haven't gotten that alternate outfits yet. We haven't gotten it yet, so we're gonna give you that in the Bojack, as well as base Bojack and Super Bojack. We're also going to be bringing in Zanya back in, and we're gonna add a new Bojack henchman, Kogu, the henchman that Trunks fights and beats. We're going to give you Kogu Base and Kogu Super, or just Kogu Super. How about just that? Alright, Kogu Super. We're going to have Trunks fight him. That will be a good fight. That'll be a pretty fun little thing, and we'll get a new galactic tournament stage to fight in. That'll be pretty fun. So there's that. And then for the third and final movie pack, we have Broly Second Coming, Bio Broly, Janemba, and Wrath of the Dragon. So you could expect what's going to happen with the Second Coming. There's no real stage, no new stage, it's just desert, no new real characters. We already have Broly from movie 8 added in there. So we're just going to give you 2 alternate outfits. Broly alternate outfit will be from Second Coming, so he's going to have that different coloration. His chest's going to have some damage on there, and we're going to give you an alternate outfit for Krillin. Krillin shows up in Broly Second Coming wearing Piccolo's outfit, tricking Gohan into thinking Piccolo has come to save him. Well, we'll give Krillin that outfit for Second Coming story. And then we have Janemba. Janemba is already in it. Base Janemba, Fat Janemba. Paikon's not in it. Let's putting him back in there. I'm going to do you one more. Paikon's going to have an alternate outfit where he removes his weighted armor and gets to fight like he did in the Otherworld Tournament arc in the actual anime. So we'll give you that for Paikon. Something new. And another something new How about Veku? Yeah, Veku could be a 2-cost DP character because he's a bumbling fool that is mostly for gags and jokes. You'll have lots of flatulent attacks. Yeah, so let's give you some Veku action in there. And of course we have the HFIL going crazy stage with that Raging Blast 2 introduced. So we're going to have that in there. And then, of course, we have Tapion and Hirudegarn and all that good stuff added in for that final bit there. So there's 3 movie packs for your first season pass. Then for the second season pass, it's stepping into the Grand Tour with Dragon Ball GT. The first story pack is going to feature storyline and characters from everything from the Hunt for the Black Star Dragon Balls all the way to the end of the M2 arc, which will introduce characters like Base GT Goku, Super Saiyan GT Goku, Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 GT Goku. Even though these final 2 forms won't really be shown, we'll give you a Super Saiyan 4 character in each of the 3 GT packs. So here's your first Super Saiyan 4 character, Goku. We'll have GT Trunks and Super Saiyan GT Trunks. We'll have Pan, yes. And then, for the various enemies from the various planets that they visit, collecting the Dragon Balls, Legic will be featured for the first time ever. Cardinal Muchi will be featured for the first time ever. Lude, a new giant, for the first time ever. And, of course, General Rildo for the first time ever, and Meta Rildo for the first time ever. Brand new characters, new GT characters, returning GT characters that we've seen in the past in here, and as well as in the anime that we might have been wanting to play as for quite a while. I was surprised that Rildo wasn't in Tenkaichi 3. That was kind of surprising to me. Well, let's add him in there. So he's gets to be put in there. And then, for GT Pack 2, we have Base Baby, Super Baby Vegeta, Super Saiyan, Super Baby Vegeta 1, Super Baby Vegeta 2, and Uzaru Baby Vegeta. We'll give you GT Vegeta Base, GT Vegeta Super Saiyan, GT Vegeta Super Saiyan 2, and GT Vegeta Super Saiyan 4. Here's your second Super Saiyan 4 character in your second GT Pack. We'll give you GT Goten, Super Saiyan GT Goten, GT Gohan, Super Saiyan GT Gohan, what else? Oh yeah, the baby-controlled variants for Gohan, Trunks, and Goten, baby-controlled Super Saiyan variants. We'll add Oob and Majub. Yes, we have to have them in there. And we already added everybody else. So let's add Planet Vegeta stage. So let's add that as a new stage to fight it. That would be pretty fun. So that's that. And then we'll move into the Super 17 arc. We're only going to be adding 3 things to the Super 17 arc because everything else is already in here. So we'll be adding Hellfighter 17, we'll be adding Super 17, and we'll be adding a new outfit for Android 18, which is based off the outfit she wore in this arc. That's GT Pack 2. GT Pack 3 is plain and simple. It's going to have all 7 of the Shadow Dragons, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And the reason why we put Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in the very final DLC pack is because people want him, and they will be waiting for him. So we'll put him in the final DLC pack, so that when people finally collect Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, they will have the complete experience. 2 season passes, 6 DLC packs, everybody ever, except for one person. A very secret character that will be a free DLC. The Toribot. The Toribot is Akira Toriyama's self-insert character that he has stated to be the strongest character in the entire franchise. It's stronger than even Zeno. The Toribot is the god of Dragon Ball. And I think it would be faithful to Toriyama and his entire franchise that he has created, that has broken free out of Japan to grasp hold of an entire planet. I don't think he even expected that would have happened, but the whole world all loves that Dragon Ball content, man. So let's give the whole world the Toribot for the very first time. Oh, and also let's give them Tarble and Hachiyak as well. So we'll give you a free DLC pack with those 3 characters in there. We'll probably put that in between Season Pass 1 and 2. Do that, and people will be happy. They'll be happy that they have everybody ever in a single fighting game. I think that will be a good idea. And that concludes the past 15 minutes of me rambling on about what I would have done if I were in charge of releasing the roster for Sparking Zero. I've done this before, I'll probably do it again. But hey, it just goes to show how passionate I am about this IP, and how passionate I will continue to be about this IP, and how vocal I will be about how this half of Dragon Ball needs more support. Now, outside of all of that gripes, is Sparking Zero, despite all of the characters that are missing, worth getting? Definitely. Do it right now. Get it right now.